Sports Show, Eric Nelson in for Maxie. Mike in New Orleans this week. I've got to try to keep the circus in line. Patrick Royce, Lavelli Neal III, Sid Hartman, the legend. We're Star Tribune-centric.
Yes, we are. Yes. We own the board. We own the
Where's the St. Paul representation? We'll start with you. Vikings go to New Orleans, lose 20-9. Castle's hurt. Give me your thoughts on Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, they're in terrible shape right now. They got Rudolph hurt today. They got the quarterback hurt. He's got several fractured bones. He might not play the rest of the season. They got what really might hurt them. They hurt their right guard, and they're going to have to go find somebody. Fusco?
Brandon Fusco, yeah.
Lost him. And then Robbins, when the cornerbacks got hurt, now they don't have a running back. Don't have Peterson. I don't know where they're going to go with all these injuries, and none of those guys will play, I understand, this week. Castle, he's out for 7-8 weeks. He got several fractured bones in his foot.
You know what this means, though, Sid? You know what this means? And we're going to have to sit here and eat crow that Christian Ponder may actually play for the Vikings before the season's over.
I'm going to write this week that Ridgeway is going to go in, and if he doesn't do well, Ponder got an opportunity to play.
I'm not surprised.
And he'll be the quarterback of the future.
No!
And it's Bridgewater. Not
Bridgewater. By the way, you know what I found out driving downtown today? I was at the Twins game, and I was driving someplace. On the corner of 8th and something, there's a Bridgewater Bank already.
Yeah.
Did you know there's a Bridgewater Bank?
Radio.
Already we have Bridgewater Bank. Boy, we're on the bandwagon.
How about that?
I thought the defense was terrific today. They gave up 2 TDs right off the bat and 7 points the rest of the game against a team that throws it around better than anybody.
I agree.
Facebook was blowing up today on the Captain Munnerlyn personal foul on Drew Brees, which aided the final touchdown. Was that a good call?
I don't know. That's what they call today.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not called a few years ago, probably.
All the time we complain there's 3 roughing the passer penalties every game you watch that you can't believe. But, yeah, I'm not. Were you surprised?
No, not in today's NFL. No.
Breeze went after another player.
And why is he not flagged?
Yeah, I know. He went after another player thinking that was a player who committed the foul. It was Munnerlyn, the alleged foul. So, no, it's a mess. If you get close to a quarterback these days, you're risking getting the penalty.
They protect the top quarterbacks a lot more than they do the other.
I don't think so. I think if it would have been
I think he's right.
I think if it was Teddy Bridgewater, they would have called it.
But I think Breeze's retaliation should have gotten a flag as well. You can't retaliate, right?
No.
You see the Redskins and the Eagles?
There was a huge brawl in that game. Yeah. I'm surprised only 2 guys got tossed. It looked like there was more punches being thrown in that one than just 1 or 2.
But, I mean, to all of a sudden look at this one play and say, oh, what a terrible call. Well, there's a terrible roughing the passer call in every game.
Yeah.
You can't believe what they have obviously been told. If you see a quarterback's head go like this, call a penalty.
Here's the thing. This team didn't make any mistakes in preseason. Of course, you're not playing real good teams, but still, they didn't have any penalties, they didn't turnovers, they didn't do anything. Now they play the Rams, they don't have turnovers, they don't have penalties. They play the Patriots. If there was any chance to win that game, they handed it to them on a silver platter. The same way today. They handled them on a silver platter.
Well, they didn't.
I don't know about that because I don't think offensively they were not going to be able to move the ball enough to win on the road in New Orleans.
They had some drives.
Even if they played a penalty-free game, it was going to be hard for them to win that game.
Yeah, well, nobody plays a penalty-free game in the modern NFL. They're calling 12 penalties on each team each game.
But we, you know, obviously a turbulent 9 days. They lose a franchise player in 2 games in 9 days, and Simpson's gone, all the injuries you've talked about. What? 54 yards on the ground against New England, 59 against New Orleans. That's not going to cut it.
That's one thing that's going to handicap them all year. The opposition knows they got to throw the ball. They can't do it. there's no running backs available unless they can make a deal for one that would Jacksonville get Gebhardt. Gebhardt? No.
Gerhardt.
Toby Gerhardt, he actually got in the field today and did okay.
No, he's done nothing for them, but they don't have any offensive line.
0-3.
Got to get him back, get Toby
We
back.
got Ben Jarvis,
Green Ellis?
Bill Green Schwartz.
The law firm.
Whatever his
He's
name
out there.
He's out there. Get him in here. I don't know. But what difference does
Where's
it make?
Corey Dillon these days?
They moved the ball a little bit. They just ended up kicking field goals. So.
Yeah.
Boy, Khalil was getting killed by the fans again.
Jacksonville is 0-3. I'll make you a bet. There's a possibility before this week is over, they will give a 4th or 5th draft choice to get Toby back.
I don't think they want that contract.
No, I don't see it.
I don't think they want him back.
Maybe Arian Foster got hurt in Houston. Maybe they can trade Adrian for Arian.
I don't think that'll be.
Adrian can be
And just
used
speed
in that.
up the inevitable, right?
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Next up, Atlanta.
Atlanta's one of the hottest teams in the league. I'm not so sure on the basis of what he's done so far that Ryan isn't the best quarterback in the National Football League. He's been unbelievable.
All right, hold that thought. We got to come back and talk about your Gophers. I'm sure they impressed Patrick and Lavelle yesterday with that win over San Jose.
Played fast.
Stick around. Maybe
How about the Vikings
need
today?
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. And Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship. And the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots. Being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
I've only had a couple drinks. I'm okay to drive. Pull a U-turn, not thinking clearly. There was a cop behind me. He pulls me over. He says he's placing me under arrest for a DWI. They do the fingerprint, take your picture, get you a number. You get a nice comfy pair of flip-flops, jail issue, get an orange jumpsuit. The thought in my head was, it's okay, I got it. I only had a couple drinks.
Hi, can I help you?
This new Corolla looks really cool.
You know, you can take it for a test drive.
Yeah.
The 2014 Toyota Corolla is here, and it not only looks great, it drives even better. Completely redesigned, a blast to drive, and jam-packed with all the latest tech. Right now, get incredible 0% APR financing on a new 2014 Corolla, or lease Corolla for just $149 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
See why more people are coming to Audi than ever before at Audi Minneapolis. Experience the legendary performance and handling of an A4 2.0 T Quattro. Lease yours for only $379 a month. Plus, Audi Minneapolis will make your first month's payment. Or try out the luxury and power of an A6. Lease for just $499 a month. The Summer of Audi event at Audi Minneapolis on 394 at General Mills Boulevard and at AudiMinneapolis.com.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, and great outdoor dining, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
J.D. Hoyt's, check it out. Washington Avenue, Minneapolis, locally owned, nationally known. These guys all freaking
You know the
off.
good news is
Good place to smoke a cigar.
not only
out
is
in
it
the patio.
100 steps to Target Field, as Dark showed us, it's only 100 steps to the new train station. So you can get on the train, you know, and go that way. So, you know, go to the Viking game.
What if you go out and hang a left and take 100 steps? Where do you end up at?
we may not want to go down that road.
A place with a long pole.
Don't tell Sid about that spot. I know you're giddy. Gophers got a big win over San Jose State yesterday. I think David Cobb should start running for the Vikings.
Let me say this. I'm not alibiing for him, but I have been covering the Gophers forever, and I've never seen a Gopher team. They got 10 players right now that they were counting on, and you know football team, most football teams don't have the depth to fill that. They don't have a lot of players, and they lost a couple more in this game. I never seen anything like it in my life, that they would lose this many players.
I read today that the good news was they didn't lose anybody in this game.
No.
I read today. So.
They got beat up.
And they think they're going to get 2 or 3 of them back. And Michigan stinks, so that's good.
Are you and Country Jer okay?
Oh, we're good. Okay. I have no problem with him. It wasn't, I think he's great. I just thought his effort against TCU was horrible. Last week, yesterday,
that's a fact.
Yesterday they did what they had to do.
I know I'm biased because I attended Illinois for a couple of years. I'm from Chicago, but I have been a long-time Big Ten fan. I can't believe I'm about to say this. The Gophers can beat Michigan next weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and they better, because Michigan's won 22 of the last 23, but the Wolverines are horrible. By the way, 3 delayed games in the Big Ten yesterday. Yeah. I can never remember that. Can you? You're the dean here.
That's the first
delayed
time.
Games.
My memory's not that great, but I've been going to every Gopher game from more times than anybody in this business, and I've never been involved in a delayed game.
Yeah, but this is a new phenomenon of the last 5 or 6 years that every time there's lightning.
Domeless.
Every time
there's kind of like hits on a quarterback.
No, not that. I mean, everywhere in the country, in the South, they're having games. If there's lightning within 5 miles, they got an edict.
Well, Tampa Bay Bucks had it a week ago.
Edicts that they can't play. So.
Well, Alabama 2 weeks ago had a game ended.
Yes.
Right. In the
I think
ironically, right after they kicked the field goal, Alabama had kicked the field goal to go up 41 points when the spread was 40, and then they stopped the game because of lightning.
And I have a feeling the people at the Big House wish they would have called the game yesterday when it was 26-10 Utah, because when they came back to play, it was just Utah fans in there. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
Well, they say the field there was really flooded.
Yeah.
It was a quagmire.
They couldn't move. That's one good thing about this field they got here now, that water's not going to affect it.
What'd you think of Streveler?
Pardon me?
What'd you think of Streveler?
The quarterback.
He can run.
I don't know.
The quarterback.
Let me tell you, the strategy was from day one this week to run the ball. Auburn ran them. Whoever they played the second time ran them. They outweighed the offensive line by 25, 30 pounds. They outweighed the defensive line by 25, 30 pounds. And the strategy for that reason was to run the ball. This kid can throw the ball a lot better than he threw it the other day. Are we sure of that?
Yeah.
Are we sure of that?
Well, can you go into Michigan one-dimensional and just run the ball like Glenn Mason used to do and win football games? Can they?
Yeah, I think if you get out to other teams, everybody's been running against Michigan. Michigan's got Michigan's big problem is the Gophers have pretty good defense. You know, the defensive backs are good. The fronts, some of those kids in the front, that Elmore looks like he's going to be a player. And the linebackers are playing well, and Michigan can't move the ball. Michigan's offensively is horrible.
You can't tell me that if you're running the ball effectively, and it looks like the Gophers can do that, that there can't be some play-action capabilities as the game goes along here.
Amazing.
Is that where they miss Max Williams, though, when you talk about play-action, tight end down the seam? I think you got to get him back on the field. When's he coming back?
Pardon me?
Max Williams, 88. When are they getting him back?
They hope to get him back this week, but I don't think they'll get either Max Williams or the quarterback back this week. They both got serious injuries. We'll see what happens. They got the best orthopedic doctor that ever lived. 29 years he's been taking care of that team, Pat Smith. If anybody can get him healthy, he can.
Well, I got to say this. Drew Wolotarski did establish himself as the #1 receiver this week, though.
Exactly. There's no competition. No competition.
He's the go-to guy in that aerial game.
Decker.
That aerial game. Thank God we're going to start playing. You know, the non-conference part of a college football schedule has become damn near as boring as the non-conference part of a
It's almost like NFL preseason.
Unless you're a good team, you end up brokering a game like Michigan State going to Oregon, which may have been a bad matchup for them. I think Michigan State's a good football team, but I wouldn't have taken that trip to
you can
Oregon.
K-State and play Auburn, take your chances, even though you lose. You at least muscle up. All right, we'll get into the Twins in a little bit, so brace yourself. Sports Show. Patrick Lavelle.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Allery's, the original St. Paul sports bar, now with 65 beers on tap.
Attention, please get a pencil. Announcing a hearing breakthrough, a microchip that is so small it can fit on the head of a pen, worn hidden entirely in your ear canal, making you hear clear as a bell. And it's proudly made in the USA. Do you feel left out of conversations? Is it difficult to hear words in noisy environments? Do others say that you listen to the TV or radio too loudly? Do you feel like a bother to others due to your problems hearing? If you answered yes, you may qualify for this new chip in the ear. Only 50 participants are needed to try this microchip, so get a pencil. Call now to see if you qualify. This revolutionary chip actually mimics the natural sound selection of the human ear. With multi-core microprocessors, technology used in the most advanced computers, sounds are analyzed and classified each millisecond, controlling noise and making speech clear. Do not wait. Call now to see if you qualify to wear this revolutionary new microchip.
In a world full of compromise, the Audi A3 takes a different path. Get uncompromised design, the style and presence of Audi in a lighter, smaller form, uncompromised performance, a lightning-quick turbocharged engine, and race-bred S-tronic transmission. Uncompromised luxury with standard leather seating and panoramic sunroof. Lease your A3 for only $299 a month. Plus, during the Summer of Audi event, Audi Minneapolis will make your first payment. Stay uncompromised. Audi Minneapolis.
Nothing drives like an Audi. Check it out, Audi Minneapolis. 9393 Wyzetta Boulevard, or check it out on the web, TwinCitiesAudiDealers.com.
Before we talk about the Twins, who are such a hot-button topic at the moment, Sydney, is Adrian Peterson going to play this year?
Peterson?
Will he play again this year?
Somebody had a very good idea that he should offer $1 million for the problem he's got. That money should be used to treat people.
But that's
not going to set his court case away.
Huh?
His court case is the reason he's going to stay suspended.
And then, I don't know. I've seen things like this happen before over my life where they said the guy was never going to play. I don't think he'll play now, but I thought a couple days ago he might have a chance, but from what I hear, no.
Sid, you've been doing this for a couple of years. You've never seen anything like this absolute firestorm, though. I can't believe it. I've been at it a while. I've never seen anything go as crazy as this in my life.
Are they the poster team for how not to handle a crisis?
You know what?
I would say yes.
Let me say this.
Your take.
What did we expect? Well, yeah, I mean, they probably...
These guys are nuts.
They probably didn't put enough thought into it Monday when they reinstated him.
Yeah, you'd think.
I think they saw a bunch of guys in Peterson jerseys and figured that the fans don't mind it. But Wednesday, I think they did as well as they could. I mean, we were wrong. We're trying to get it right. What more do you want, people? They suspended him. Shut up.
I applauded him on Friday when they deactivated him. I thought that was the right thing to do. And I thought if they deactivated him for 3 or 4 weeks, let it maybe serve it now, maybe they could bring him back on the roster and he could start playing. But apparently what I was told was that there were some blowback from fans who say, we want to watch Adrian Peterson run. I want our money back, or I'm not renewing my season tickets. And that encouraged them to reinstate him on Monday. But the mistake was that now they had the rest of the world mad at him on Monday. So in the span of 3 days, they figured out a way to have everybody mad at him.
But when you say the world, Sid, the NFL's about money. Anheuser-Busch, Nike, Radisson, and the governor of Minnesota came down on them. That's why they came in.
Call.
Yep. Yes, that's a $1 billion account.
They've spent over a certain period of time $1.2 billion with the national.
$200 million a year.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
$200 million a year.
So people can tailgate and drink.
That took care of everything.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
there's no doubt about it.
It was sponsors. It was season tickets on the front end and sponsorships on the back end.
Well,
Vikings ended up in a no-win situation.
I'm just glad I don't have any secrets in my life that that I have to worry about. God Almighty, I couldn't. The self-righteous indignation of everybody. My favorite moment. Can I tell you what my favorite moment was? ESPN, Friday. You know, usually when you look at one of their panel shows and they have a young lady on, we got the short skirt and the kind of nice sweater blouse, and they all were dressed like Amish women on Friday, like this was the most somber moment in history. They all looked. The only thing they were missing was the nun.
I'm glad that needed to be toned down because it was getting crazy. Them and Fox Sports
but
won.
Saturday they were back.
I want to get your reaction, all three of you, on this. With Ray Rice, I thought it was nearly unanimous. Nobody could take his side based on the video. But this AP thing, I was in the locker room this week. I know you were. It's split. There are some people saying culturally this is how it's done in some communities.
I was hit with a switch as a kid. I got my butt whooped as a kid.
I never
had my
you're working with him.
I never had my pants pulled down and hit with a switch that leaves a mark on my scrotum. But yes, I got my butt kicked by my parents. I got sent home from kindergarten one day. My mother whooped me that day, and that was humiliating, all right? But times change. All right, my parents did stuff to me, and we were latchkey kids, stuff that they would have been arrested for today. But times change, and you have to modify your behavior. You have to modify your outlook on some things. Just because, well, this is a cultural thing, that's not an acceptable excuse.
What percentage of players in the National Football League are in trouble? 1, 2, or 3%?
Not that much, probably.
Very small.
Not even that much.
No.
I'm told by
Less than
somebody
society in general, I'm told.
Huh? I'm told by somebody in the National Football League office that Rice's wife came in with him and she practically got on her hands and knees and pleaded with him and said there was no serious hits or anything like that. Let my guy play.
She was knocked
out. And he did.
Hold those thoughts.
And
One more segment.
another thing, I've known Roger Goodell for 20 years. He's doing a heck of a job. How can he control these guys? How can Roger Goodell stop these guys from hitting their wives and hitting their kids?
I would say he's doing a hell of a job.
We'll take it to break. That's a Goodell endorsement.
I just want to give one hint for parenting out there. False threats. You tell them you're going to whip the hell out of them, you just don't do it.
Goodell now head of Holtz, Steinbrenner, and Bobby Knight. Stick around.
Sitting over the fireplace.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Case Law, for all your legal needs, not your typical law firm. And Griffin Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than to need us and not know us.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, Christian Ponder, the Wild, Zach Parisi, the Timberwolves, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. Justin Bieber! Hey, I like him first. For details, go to TicketKingOnline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Beacon Bank, responsive, reliable, reassuring, just like Sid's endorsement of Roger
A good
Goodell.
nugget. You get him in a headlock. You get him in a headlock and hit him right in the top.
We don't have a lot of time left. You're the Twins guy.
Yes, sir.
Gardy, Terry Ryan, any changes when this nightmarish season ends?
I still think there's a chance it could happen, but I'm not saying it's a slam dunk. You know, I keep hearing different things. I'm hearing that, there may be pressure on the ownership to make a change. There may be pressure from the ownership to change the coaching staff that Gardy may resist. So there's going to be some interesting conversations at the end of the year. Period.
I don't think there'll be a change. I think they'll give Gardy the second year of his contract, and then I think he'll be gone, and I think Ryan will be gone too. I think they'll both be here one more year.
They they made him change half his coaching staff 2 years ago. What if they want to change the other half? What if they want Andy gone?
I think Gardy would say, I'm out of here too.
I'm out of here?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I think. It's going to be interesting. Another thing, the change that needs to be made is how they go about adding players during the offseason, because they may have to make a big swing at someone because they're worried about season tickets, sponsorships, dwindling during the offseason. They're going to have to figure out a way.
Unless you can sign Zach Parise, the baseball equivalent of Zach Parise and Ryan Suter, I don't think it's going to make any difference.
Here's the thing. If they do change them, you think it's going to help them get sponsorships and stuff like that? I don't think it'll have any effect. It's the bad ball club they got, the bad record they got, and that's going to give the sponsors and the season ticket holders.
But Gardy was certainly campaigning for it a couple nights ago when he said things are going to get better around here in a hurry.
How about that?
That was a campaign speech.
That was a very interesting comment at the time.
It was.
Yes.
I don't know. Some of those season ticket holders think it's a country club out there. Nobody's held accountable for the losing.
I don't think the sponsorships are going to bounce back anytime soon. If they add a quality player during the offseason, maybe it will stop some season tickets from being turned back in. But they're going to take a hit.
I think those $2 million sponsorships are going to be $750,000 sponsorships.
And the other thing is, it's going to be hard to get back because it's gotten pretty competitive here with the rise of the Wild. And some people may feel differently about the basketball team now that they've got Andrew Wiggins.
There's a little energy there. Yeah. Final 3 home games, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against Arizona.
Can't wait for
tickets available.
That Wednesday noon game, the final home game against the Diamondbacks. It's going to be packed.
Kirk Gibson reunited with Jack Morris.
All those people who got offended by the fireworks can now go get their free tickets.
All right. It's been fun.
Yes.
Sports Show. We'll do it all again next week.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quart surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. And Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing.